The story we first broke this morning on WXYZ.com, our webpage. The House could vote as early as tomorrow on new legislation designed to prevent another deadly meningitis outbreak like we saw last year.
Yeah, it was a year ago today that the New England Compounding Center began recalling the tainted steroid shots. It was too late for hundreds of people who already had the drug injected in their spines and joints. And now Washington lawmakers are acting to make sure it doesn't happen again.
I'm not over it. I'm not even close to being over it yet.
J.R. Mazur used to be a heavy equipment operator. For years, he took steroid shots for back pain. But the one he got a year ago changed his life forever. He's had 4 back surgeries to clean out this fungus in his spine, 108 rounds of grueling antifungal drugs, and he now needs all these medications.
I'm only 52 years old. Jeez. You know, I don't want to be this the rest of my life.
264 people in Michigan developed fungal infections from the tainted steroid shots made by the New England Compounding Center in Massachusetts. Those shots were shipped to 23 states across the country. There was fungus, mold, inside the steroids injected into people's spines and joints. Take a look at this map. It shows Michigan hardest hit.
FDA did nothing wrong, in your opinion?
No, I'm not
2002, when they inspected and found all the problems, and 2006 when they wrote the letter and said we're going to shut you down. I mean, all that is just too murky for you, and you don't think the FDA has any responsibility?
I was in Washington almost a year ago as things got heated at congressional hearings looking into the outbreak.
Your agency did not use your power to define who is a manufacturer.
Michigan Congressman John Dingell and Fred Upton grilling the FDA Commissioner Margaret Hamburg for not doing more to prevent this. The FDA says they didn't have power because compounding pharmacies are regulated by state health departments. But it was clear the New England Compounding Center was acting not like a traditional compounder, but a drug manufacturer, which the FDA is supposed to oversee.
In just one has sold over 17,000 doses in something like 23 states. Don't you have the authority to define who's a manufacturer and who's a compounder? And if you do, why didn't you do it?
Now, a year later, Senate and House policy committees have agreed on legislation that would clarify current law regarding pharmacy compounding. A compounder mixes and modifies drugs to meet individual needs, and they must have an individual prescription for every drug they mix. The bill allows large-scale drug compounders to register as so-called outsourcing facilities, which would make them subject to FDA monitoring. Traditional pharmacies will continue to be regulated primarily by states' pharmacy boards. Any change will come too late for so many, including JR, who still has mold growing in him.
My future? I don't know. You know, this thing could kill me yet.
Now, a Senate aide tells me that the hope is that the House will vote on the bill tomorrow, and a Senate vote wouldn't be far behind. If that happens, we'll take a real close look at everything in there. This tragedy has taken such a human toll. We heard from JR there. Tonight at 11 o'clock, we sit down with a group of victims and their caregivers and talk about what the last year has been like for them and why they feel like America's forgotten about them.